Hi. So tomorrow is Christmas Eve and I'm really tired. The house is not tidy yet, but I really wanted to make this video before Christmas because last video I talked about how to leave a legacy, and one way of doing it was to keep a journal, writing things down to remember things that happened to you that are important, things that God did for you. And I also talked about like having like a bottle where you gather up stuff that you're thankful for, and then your kids and you can open it together, maybe on New Year's Eve, and just remember how the year went and things that you're thankful for. So today I want to talk about also leaving a legacy, but by keeping traditions and celebrating things. And I talked about some things that Norwegians are good at last time. You should really watch the video. But this time I want to talk about something else they're good at. And Norwegians are good at keeping traditions. And especially Christmas traditions, it's wow. Like when I celebrated Christmas here for the first time, I felt like I was in a Christmas movie because they start already on the 1st of December decorating the houses, everything. And they have Christmas calendars with the kids where they can open tiny presents every day or chocolate, or they can have different activities for every day of the month. And I love that. So I do that with my kids. And you can go to Christmas markets, Christmas workshops where you make cards and make all kinds of things. You can go to Christmas concerts and bazaars and all kinds of stuff. And I really love that. But what I want you to think about today is, why do you keep exactly those traditions that you have in your family? And think about having traditions with a purpose. What message am I sending to my kids, to the people around me, when I celebrate these things that I celebrate, when I keep these traditions that I keep? And what message do I want to send? What values do I want them to learn? What legacy do I want to leave by keeping these traditions? And in the Bible, God talks about celebrating things. So, all over the Bible, people don't focus too much on all these feasts, but there's a lot of feasts and celebrations around. And God told his people to keep these traditions so they would remember things that he did for them, so they could learn things, and also to just enjoy themselves, be thankful. And I like that very much, that God wants us to enjoy ourselves. And sometimes we Christians take things so seriously and we're so formal. But just like we should take God seriously, but I think we should take ourselves less seriously and just be silly. Me and the kids like to listen to music and do silly dances and yeah, just relax a bit more. And in Nehemiah, in the Bible, it says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." So when you need strength, maybe you need to enjoy yourself a little bit more. So going back to traditions, why not keep traditions with a purpose in mind? I have talked about this book before by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families. And there's so many good ideas here. There is a whole chapter about traditions. And I really like the way they celebrate birthdays. He talked about that in their family, they didn't celebrate a date, they celebrated a person. So they started a week before to celebrate that birthday. So the person would get little notes from the brothers and sisters. The siblings would do chores for them. They would do nice things to them. They could choose places to go. They could choose foods that they wanted to eat that week. And it was like really going all in and really blessing the person. And I love that. It's so good. Let's celebrate people. You know, sometimes we get so caught up into all the preparations that we barely have time or energy to enjoy people. So, again, why not keep traditions and celebrate things with a purpose in mind? If I want to teach my kids that it's important to give, it's important to help people, that that it's important to celebrate people, then I think my husband and I should think of traditions to include in our lives, in our year, that will teach them that. So, my challenge for you this Christmas time, this time of celebrations, but also in the new year, is think about what kind of traditions you want to include in your family that will mean something to you, will teach your kids and people around you about values, and um, and that will get you to remember important things, remember things that God has done for you and your family. And for example, and my sister-in-law gave me an idea a few days ago. She said that in their Christmas calendar, with activities, the activity that day was to do something for somebody to bring joy to that person, and not necessarily telling the person that that it was you, you know, giving without expecting back. And I really like that. So Elena and I bought some boxes of chocolate. We wrapped it as a present, and then we took a flashlight and we walked around in the neighborhood, because like 4 o'clock here is really dark. So we went around in the neighborhood and we just left the present on the people's doors and we ran away. And she was so happy, and she was like, "Oh, mom, they're gonna be so happy when they open the door and see the present." Oh, and so she was so excited. And of course, she's 5 years old, so a lot of the excitement was because we were sneaking around. But I hope that she learned something about the joy of giving. So let's hope for that. But anyway, what kinds of traditions and celebrations do you want to have in your family? And how can that leave a legacy to the next generation? And yeah, let's just not forget now in Christmas time about celebrating the Prince of Peace, even in the times of stress. So I hope you have a wonderful Christmas tomorrow, and I see you maybe next year, maybe right before next year. Bye bye.